that's not the case. I think the message should be, transparent and specific, and just making sure that, you got the players back and you put in a position to succeed. I think that's kind of the message I've heard from a lot of the guys who have managed, who are coaching in the major leagues.
Who are some of the managers who have reached out to you?
Oh, a lot. Every manager that I have worked for, coaches that I work with, players that I've coached, high school buddies of mine. It's so many people who have played a role in who I am today. I have heard from them, and the advice has been tremendous. The support has been fantastic, and just having that support system next to me has been very important.
How has your life changed since then? You did the Dynamo deal. Do you notice the difference now? Yeah,
a little bit busy. Schedule is a little bit busy, but I make sure that I stay true to who I am, stay in the present, and make sure that make sure that I'm a good father, good husband. Those things are very important to me, and the job, it's a very important job for me. It's just stay true to who I am, and lean on the people, lean on my coaches, lean on the people who are next to me, and surround myself with the right people. You know what? I think we have guys in place that I think can do the job. Like the Jake Myers, the McCormick. Alvarez can still play some left. He will play some left, and Tucker will cover right field. I think that the roster that we've seen in the outfield is the guys that I feel comfortable having them play the outfield. Now, we're always looking for ways to improve our roster. I know Dana is working really hard to try and improve our roster, but right now with the players that we have in place, I think I feel pretty good about that.
How many bullpen arms do you think you need if you don't resign the guys that are free agents?
You know what? I think that right now the ones that we have are solid, and I feel really good that we have like guys like Brian Abreu, Presley, Montero. We saw some really good things from Sousa. So, we have the guys now we're looking for the ways to improve our roster. Absolutely, but I think that we got to let this play out. And I know Dana has a good plan in place, and I'm going to let him execute the game plan. Excuse me?
Do you guys have a sense of how much you like Jordan?
I think that's going to just kind of grow and see where we're at in spring training. Obviously, we'll see how, health and, protecting him from, keeping him in the lineup for as many games as we can. So we'll look at all those things. But, I know Jordan likes to be in the outfield, and it's important for us to, kind of open that DH spot for some of the guys that can benefit from that DH. So having Jordan play some left field will benefit our club.
Where do you think your depth at first base may be behind him? Like, who could you play? Wanted to DH or Bregman, could you maybe play?
I think not only Jose, but I think there's some players that could benefit from DH, right? There's some stretches where I think that we can be flexible and get some guys off their feet. But I think Jose can take the majority of those reps at first base. He played a heck of a first baseman last year. So right now we're looking at ways who can back him up there. But I really expect Jose to have a really good year next year, and I've had many conversations with him. He's taking some strides on his body and things that he's doing differently, and I'm really optimistic that he's going to have a really good year next year. Yeah, I think so. I think Jose came in and he wanted to, he's a guy that plays every single day. He's a gamer, and I think he wanted to do that, and he probably played through some nagging injuries and stuff like that. But a lot of respect for what he did and how he went about it. Once he took that little breather, we saw a different guy. But I expect him to come into spring training ready to go.
Do you expect any of the prospects to play a role in spring training, or maybe break the club? I know you had a kind of had to, but maybe guys, Arrighetti, Fido, guys like that, any of those prospects?
Yeah, you know what? I'm excited about seeing some of those guys. I really am, because I know at some point we're going to those kids come up and they'll play a role on our team. So, but yeah, some of those guys that I mentioned, I'm excited to see them in spring training. They're coming. They're good players. Our reports are really good on those guys, so I'm excited to give them an opportunity to see what they can do in spring training.
What are you looking for at a catcher behind Yainer?
You know what? We're having conversation to see what's the best fit. But I'm excited about Yainer getting an opportunity to catch and play every day.
What do you do to kind of help him absorb the kind of the role that Martin had, working with the pitching staff and doing all the reports and those things?
You know what? Communication, and I've been talking to Yainer, once a week. We're going to do some things in January leading into spring training to prep him for spring training. I don't want us to get to spring training and start from scratch. So this is starting right now, having conversations about our staff, how to attack certain lineups, things that we know that we can help them with, receiving, throwing. So it's a process that we're working on right now as we speak.
What are those conversations like? Do you meet in person? Do you Zoom on the phone when you say? When you say, I talk to them 10 minutes, 15, 20?
We sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 15, just depending where the conversations take us. And right now they're phone calls, but I think, once we get closer to spring training, if he's in Houston, we'll be face to face. If not, we'll do some Zoom. But we're gonna get him ready to play and be the best catcher that we can get out of Yainer Diaz.
Where's he spending off-season at?
Right now he's in the Dominican Republic training. And, he sends videos. We have a trainer, Wessing is over there with those guys. So I feel really good where he's at right now in the off season. I think that's on the player. I don't think putting a number is fair. I think he will tell us, what's a good workload and what's not. I think my job will be to make sure that I put him in a position where he's being the best catcher that we can have, and then he'll go from there. But I know that he's strong, he's mentally fit to do this, and I'm looking forward to see his work behind the plate.
How do you feel about your starting rotation, and are there updates on the colors and the season?
I feel really good about those guys. Having JV, Valdez, all those guys. Urquides, I feel really good about our rotation, and just having McCullers, who I see a lot when I go to the clubhouse, like seeing his progress, seeing Garcia's progress. I feel really good about hopefully adding them at the at some point during the season will be awesome if we could get him at some point when we get him back.
Everyday guy, or think of it as more of a timeshare,
You know what? I do think that they're both going to get an opportunity to play, and we see where it takes us. I don't sitting here and saying this is going to be somebody's going to get the majority of reps. I think it's too premature for that. But I do feel comfortable with the guys that we have, that both they can cover, and we could get some solid production out of center field. Yeah. You know what? Dewey is good when he is that Swiss Army player that we got, right? That he could spare somebody in second base, can play some short, third, go to center. So that is extremely valuable when we have a player like that. But Dewey is that one guy can go and get a start in center field, will give you plus defense with some quality at bats.
You mentioned earlier center playing hard, you guys play hard. Was there ever any issues last year with some guys not playing hard, maybe running first base, any other area?
No, you know what? I think when I say hard, it's not allowing complacency to come in. Like 7 straight LCS. We don't want to have that mentality. Like we know what this is what winning looks like. Yes, but we need to continue to push, and be better, and continue to be better at doing the small stuff. Those are the things that I think that as a team, last year sometimes we lack on doing the small stuff, doing those things well. I think those are the areas that I need to make sure that we cover and we go over and we get better at.
Is that something you're looking at defensively? Talking about the small stuff?
Yeah, so on the defensive side, on the bases, anything that will give you that help you win games. Those are the things that we have done really, really well for the last 7 years, and those are the things that I want our team to focus on during spring training. That will be another area that we will look at, because that having that clock did put another element for us to consider, both on the defensive side and also on the offensive side. So it's something that we're looking at, and something that we could be better at, controlling the running game and also taking advantage on the bases.
You look at most of the offensive stats, and they're actually better last year than the rookie year, but he's obviously power. I guess what is kind of the next step for him offensively, and what you like to see from him these years?
Yeah, you know what? I don't. When we talk about Jeremy, people kind of focus on the power, but there's a lot of things that he did really well offensively, better than he did last year. I thought that he chased less, he walked more. I thought there was some maturity about his at-bats that you're looking for in a second-year guy, and I think he's going to be that much better hitter in his third year. I think he's going to go back. He's going to find that stroke. He's going to hit the power. He's going to hit for power again. But saying that 22 was better than 23, I don't really agree with that, because I think he did something offensively that it was encouraging, and I think he shows that he can be an offensive threat in our lineup for many years.
He's your fastest sprint speed player. How would you evaluate his base stealing, base running?
That's Jeremy. You know what? I think he's in there. I think he runs the bases hard. I think he also has awareness and IQ to steal more bases, and I think that's something that we as an organization we're going to look at now in spring training, and we could do better at that. I think that's one of the reasons why we added Dave Clark to our coaching staff. He's with him and Gary, I feel like putting those two baseball minds together, I think we could do better job at taking advantage of base running and studying more opposing pitchers and be better running the bases in general.
Joe, this is the last season of Bregman and Altuve under team control. I guess, does that add more urgency to this year, just knowing that there's a possibility that the last season we have both of these guys playing together?
Well, you know what? For me, I just hope they're here for many years to come. They're tremendous players. They mean a lot to our culture and to our winning ways. So the only thing I can say, I hope they're here for many, many more years.
Coach, do you have any sort of update on Kendall Bregman? Do you know if he's throwing on the shoulder?
Yeah, so he is playing catch, 90 feet, and things are going okay. The reports seem to be he's doing okay, but yeah, he is playing catch. He's doing some physical therapy back in Alabama, and but seems like he's progressing well.
What are your overall thoughts on the state of diversity in the coaching and managing roles in MLB?
You know what? I think we are. We're doing a better job. I see that MLB is really trying to push hard for diversity and for inclusion, and I think that's very important. So I think I feel pretty good on the state on that matter right now in MLB.
It's Friday taking 6 Latino managers in Major League Baseball right now. Daniel, Venezolanos, Cubans, Americans.
It's exciting. I think it's exciting. I think there will be more to come in the future. I think there's some really qualified coaches out there and major league coaching staff that can step in and have this sit in this chair and do a terrific job. And it's our job, like my job, just to let people know that they're out there. And just like myself, it's taken me a while to get to this seat, but it's just you work hard and don't lose faith, because it could be done.
What message would you give other Latino coaches who are now in the shoes you were in just last year?
The journey is very much worth staying in it and don't lose faith. Your attitude while you wait is very important. Continue to learn, because I think once you get this opportunity to do this, you want to do the best you can, not only for the organization, but for the next generation of Latino coaches who will get an opportunity to do this.
How will spring training be run next year? Will Omar kind of organize that? Are there any big changes that you'll make about the way that the spring training did?
Yeah, but we're talking through some specific and how can we make it a little more creative, kind of make sure that we go over our things. But right now, once the winter meetings are over, I'll dive into that with our coaches and we start talking a little bit about the format of spring training.
Joe, Jason Bell, a guy that you want to your staff. What was it like to call him and tell him?
Oh man, he was excited. He's right there. No, he was excited. I'm really happy for him. He's worked really hard, and he's going to be the guy that I'll be going to be doing some of that, a lot of work, spring training that I've done for the last 6-7 years. I'm going to lean on him. He is, he's that bridge to our player development. He's been around. He knows those players down there. He's earned the opportunity to be here, and I'm excited for him and excited for Omar, to be right there next to me, and getting Dave Clark back too. I've heard so many great things about him, and I'm excited to this coaching staff. They're great people, and they care about our players, and I can't wait to get to work.
Clark went back around again. How were you connect with him, or if he was interested in Idaho?
You know what? I talk to players. I talk to a ton of people. I know Clarky from a long time, and I like his dynamic. I like his presence. He's got this energy about him that I think it's our players need. And once I sat down and we went out to lunch and we talked, I'm like, man, this guy is sharp. This guy is what we need in our clubhouse.
Coach, hopefully you have a long career, a bunch more press conferences like this, but is there a question you wish you were asked more?
A question that I wish somebody will ask me more?
And a bunch of these press conferences that you'll have in the future.
You know what? No, this is my first formal press conference like this, so maybe if you ask me that question maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe I can answer for you, but right now, this is the questions that I'm getting, so maybe I have an answer for you later on. Title what? I'm sorry?
Title inflation, like, you're not just a GM, you're now the president of baseball operations. What do you think managers should be called?
Managers.
Okay. Why?
Because that's what we are the manager of the team, and I kind of grow into that culture of the manager is the manager of the team, so I'm okay with being called the manager.
You gonna have any rules or anything for the guys that they might have to adjust to, or anything you're a stickler about, the way they wear a uniform or anything like that?
No, our players, they respect the name in front of their jersey, and that's all I care about. We Houston Astros, our community, the people that come and support her every day. As long as you're respecting the game and you respect our fans and respect the people that come to watch us, that's my biggest rule. Let's follow those rules.
No further questions?
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, guys. Thank you.